What's going down, everybody? Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Friends, temperatures aren't the only thing rising. Gasoline prices, food prices, tensions throughout society, global conflict, supply chain breakdowns, you name it. Experts say the looming global food crisis will be worse than any year since WW2. What should you do? Go to preparewithjericho.com and get your long-term emergency food storage from My Patriot Supply while you still can. My Patriot Supply is America's largest preparedness company with millions of satisfied customers. Their food lasts for up to 25 years in storage. When you need it, it will be there. Act quickly and save $150 on a 3-month emergency food kit. These kits provide breakfast, lunch, dinners, drinks, and snacks totaling over 2,000 calories a day. You won't go hungry when you have this emergency food. So go to preparewithjericho.com, save $150 on your 3-month emergency food kit. That's preparewithjericho.com. Get your family's emergency food while there's still time. Go to preparewithjericho.com. What's up? Cost of living, I'll tell you that. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. The picture, I just picked that one because that shit's still hilarious. that grown son of a bitch fell off his bike. It just shows you that was a photo op, because if you ride bikes with any regularity, you're going to know the pedals on your bike. You're going to know to pull your foot out and then up. You're going to know that it's not your standard pedal where there's nothing to hold your foot in there. You can just take your foot off of it. So that further lets us know that was just a bullshit photo op. But you see the title, The Truth. We will get to the truth. But first, this is a viewer-funded platform, so I appreciate that. Venmo, GreenforGreen, Cash.app, $ Jericho Green 1. You can do it snail mail style, P.O. Box 806, Olivehurst, California, 95961-9998. Super chats, get them in. First come, first serve. Don't wait. Like, oh, I'll wait till a little bit later. Lose your spot in line. Get them in now. Appreciate that. Yes, the truth. Major developments in the Uvalde, Texas mass murder at Robb Elementary School by that demonic piece of shit. And here's a question. Where do you get the money? That's all I want to know, because when I was freshly 18, I didn't have close to $9,000 to drop on anything, let alone some firearms. But yeah, major developments in that. And I kind of bit my tongue on the Uvalde thing until we got more information, until they had something like they're having now, the hearings to hear the truth, because the truth always lies somewhere in the middle. It's not to either extreme, whether left or right or wrong, whatever. It usually lies in the middle. And I think we found that. So we're going to talk about it. There's a gas tax, or they want to have, Biden's going to ask Congress to enact a holiday on the gas tax for 3 months. Do you think this is all going to be better in 3 months? Has he given us any indication that he's able to handle this or anything else in 3 months? No. But that's what they want to do. And thank you so much, guys. Thank you, you elitist empty suits, for tossing us lowly tins, tax ID numbers, some crumbs from your long marble table in your ivory tower. Thank you so much, guys. They're going to give us a 3-month break till September. So basically now until September, they want to give us a gas tax holiday. And I like how they call it a holiday. Like, when the UK, I'm going to take my family on a holiday. Is that what they meant? Were we supposed to be like, oh, holiday, that sounds cool? Hold on. Here we go. Now let's see. And the second pandemic. He has a tendency to say the quiet part out loud. I think when he was walking out of the meeting room, they were like, sir, make sure you don't say there's going to be a second pandemic. And all he heard was, say that there's a second pandemic. Must have been what he heard, because these are his words. And I quote, there's going to be another pandemic. End quote. There's no out of context. That's what he said. That was the beginning and end of his sentence. There's going to be another pandemic. Great. I'm glad that he at least has that planned out. He can't leave the house without a pack of Depends, but he made sure that he's going to let us know we've planned another pandemic or plandemic, I guess. On the January 6th sham debacle, horseshit, clown show, shit show, whatever you want to call it. They had yesterday the hearings was focused on some of the witnesses. Talk about that shit. And in Chicago, if you are a criminal and you're quick, your criminal lifestyle is about to get a whole lot easier because now Chicago PD is not allowed to pursue perp on foot unless they are going to cause imminent harm to somebody, like in the case of a drunk driver, or if somebody's running off with a gun. Then they can make the call to go run after them. But if it's like a traffic violation or a misdemeanor, then let them go. Don't chase them. Let the criminal go. So how long do you think it's going to take for word to get around that if you run, you're good? And if I have time, I'm going to get to London Breed. She's the mayor of Needles and Shit, California, or you might know it better as San Fran shithole. The Golden State Warriors won the basketball championship, and who was front and center? And when I say front and center, I mean like if you all lined up for a class picture, she would be down in the front row at the bottom, right there, dead center in the picture, with all these athletes, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, you know, the guys who played. And it's just weird to see her in those pictures like that. You can smell the groupie on her. You can smell the "I'll let you hit it and never call me again" on her. She looked at them the way the mainstream mediocres looked at Obama. Like they got to run home and put that shower head in there. Oh, Barry. You know what I mean? That's what she looked like. It's very unbecoming of a mayor to have such a groupie-ish look upon her face. Very good. Good job, Mayor London Breed. And if you recall, when she first got elected, she said in 2 or 3 months, you're going to see a noticeable change in San Francisco. And we did see that. Much, much more human feces. But before we get in that ass like a bike with no seat, let's do this. I want to start each live stream with a segment I call Good Gun. And this is the first one. So if you're here, this is very special. Eventually I want to have like a sound effect for it, something along the lines of like, you know, say good boy, good dog. It's like, oh, good gun. You know what I mean? Because it is a tool. So I want to start each video with a segment called Good Gun, where I talk about a story, or I read a story where the good guy used his gun to kill the bad guy and they were able to go home to their family. The stories where the good people with guns win. You know, we always hear about the bad guys, the mass shootings, the mass murders, and the gangbangers and the drug dealers and all the dregs of society. But good people do good things with their gun. They protect their property, their family, and themselves with these evil firearms. So, without further ado, it says, Sheriff, Foothills homeowner shoots and kills violent intruder claiming to live there. What? And there's a few reasons I picked this story. Number one, it takes place in California, and it lets us Californians know that there's still hope for us if we have to use our firearms to defend ourselves and our property. And it also, in here, it talks about the real effects of California law, the real effects of these crazy ass bills that they sign and push through, you know, because it makes them feel good. When they fall asleep in their bed big enough for a family of 6, and in their houses with echoes in the foyer, you know, in their gated communities and their guards and shit like that, when they fall asleep at night, they can lay their head down on that very expensive pillow and sheets with a very high thread count, and they can lay their heads down knowing that they helped the lowly little poor people, you know, the dirty people that they're just good for tax revenue, but don't look at me and do not touch me. Okay? So when they make these stupid ass leftist policies, it makes them feel good, but we're the ones who have to deal with it. And this story is a perfect example of that. So it says a homeowner in Valley Springs shot and killed a violent intruder, the Calaveras County Sheriff's Office said Wednesday. Lenin Elizalde, 28, was pronounced dead after deputies responded at about 12:30 a.m. That's another reason I picked this story. Sunday to the 7,000 block of Gaber Street, a news release said. Another reason I picked this story is because you notice the time is 12:30 a.m. That's midnight. So when you go to break into somebody's house or when you go to break into somebody's home at that time of night, you know there's going to be somebody there. This isn't 12:30 in the afternoon. These people aren't at work. This is midnight. Not only do you know they're there, you know they're asleep to make them easy victims. All right, so here we go. Elizalde had claimed his father still owned the recently sold home and made an early threat against the new owners, the release said. The man who shot Elizalde with a pistol was not arrested. You hear that, Californian homeowners and property owners and people who just want to protect their shit? There's hope. So he wasn't arrested, and the district attorney's office continues to investigate what happened. The release said his name was not disclosed. The release provided these further details. The two male homeowners told deputies early Sunday that Elizalde had just kicked his way through the front door and assaulted them. One of the homeowners shot the intruder in self-defense. So that's still a thing. Deputies entered the home and found Elizalde, who was declared dead at the scene by medical responders. The homeowners were treated for injuries at the hospital and released. Deputies learned Elizalde had been arrested the previous day on suspicion of breaking into the home through the side door. He was the son of the former owner and refused to leave. The new owners called 911 and Elizalde left with a threat that he would return. Deputies contacted Elizalde later Saturday afternoon and arrested him on suspicion of illegal entry into a dwelling, vandalism, and the possession of methamphetamine. You got it. You think a cup of coffee will wake you up in the morning? No. Try a cup of hot meth water. That'll get you going. Okay? Now, remember, put a pin in that word methamphetamine. We're going to come back to We're going to circle back to that. Elizalde was booked at the Calaveras County Jail, and a deputy asked a judge to increase the bail because of the threat he made earlier. Remember, he said, "I'll be back," and not like Arnold, okay? They asked him to increase the bail because of the threat he made. The judge denied the request. Now, you're probably thinking, damn it, judge, you son of a bitch. Another weak liberal judge in California is going to let this scumbag slide. No, guys, it gets better. The judge denied the request because of a 2014 state ballot measure that made meth, remember the word methamphetamine? That made methamphetamine possession a misdemeanor. Damn it. Elizalde was released from jail at 6:20 p.m. Saturday, about 6 hours before he returned to the home and was shot. So, if those homeowners did not, two male homeowners, and it's June. Come on, I can't write this shit. But the two homeowners, had they not had that firearm, that pistol, what do you think would have happened to them? He already showed a propensity for violence because he came to the house 6 hours before that and assaulted them. They had to be taken to the hospital and treated. So what do you think would have happened to them if this methed up psycho returned to their home even angrier than before? Because you called the cops on me, I had to go to jail and shit. He didn't go to jail that long. He was there for less than a day. It happened in the morning. He was released in the evening. He was in jail shorter than those cops' workday who were there to process him. Their day was probably 10, 12 hours, not his. He was in and out in less than a shift. So what would he have done to those two guys had he returned later that night? Oh, I don't know. Killed them? He already tried hurting them. He wasn't good at that. So maybe he was going to try to kill him. He was high on meth. The fuck do you think he was going to do? He wasn't high on life. He was high on meth. Well, I'm glad those two had firearms in their home. I'm glad they knew how to use them. I'm glad that they were confident enough to use them and save their lives. That could have been a double homicide. It turned out to only be a single one on the bad guy's side, so it doesn't even count. But yes, this is something I want to do every day. Have a segment called Good Gun, because we need to know that there are more positive outcomes with guns than negatives. There are more bad guys dying from these guns than good guys. I think it's around 3 million situations a year where people use guns to save themselves, and not always having to shoot. Sometimes hearing that gun rack, those of you who shoot, you know what it sounds like to hear a 12 gauge rack, to rack a shell into the chamber? That sound is what you call universal. You can go anywhere in the world and go shh, shh, and somebody's anus is going to tighten up. The pucker factor is gonna rise. That ass is gonna get so tight you couldn't get a grease BB in it. You know what that also means? Not only is that telling you this is a firearm that's ready to rock and roll, but it tells you this is a shotgun, so I don't need to be that good of a shot. I aim it in your general direction and something is coming off. Something's coming off your body. Now, somebody tell Biden a 12 gauge shotgun, now that'll blow the lung out of your body, not the 9 millimeter. You fucking fuck. But anyway, that is the first segment of Good Gun. So shout out to everybody in the comment section. I see you here nice and squirrely. Shout out to Charlie Green, The Real Vern, James Urinovich, Debza Kormos, Jim Jones, not that Jim Jones. Why do you give all those people that damn Kool-Aid? JP Burns, Christian, yo hoser. What are you talking about? Oh, man. Yes, Lord German, husbando, you are on time. Good to see you. Brett. Good to see everyone. Terry Lucas, Shrek 5 Ever, Remy Lee. Everybody, Joe Texas, Practical Pisces, Chrissy 1687, Wild Turkey, Loretta, everybody, what's up? Good to see you in here. If I didn't get to you, keep commenting. I'll shout you out eventually. Tony Hannafin says, what's up, Jericho? What's up, Tony? And Joe Duck, 12 gauge lung deleter. Yeah, that'll do it. But not the 9 mil. I'm sorry. I love the 9 mil. My Glock 17, come on. That's my girl, but it ain't gonna take no lungs out. Shout out to Mike. Oh, what's up, man? Akron, Ohio. I know you guys are familiar with guns over in that neck of the woods, and not in a good way. But yes, let's get into it. So, Uvalde. 19 kids, 2 teachers murdered. Straight up. That's not a mass shooting. That was a mass murder. Of course, the nightmare, that doesn't begin to describe it. The horror that the parents felt, sending their kids off to school thinking they're going to pick them up and going about their life at the end of their school day. And for 19 of them, that didn't happen. To the families and friends of those 2 women who they thought were just going to come home after another day of teaching and get ready for their the rest of their life. One lady, it was going to be their anniversary. Either it was going to be or they just celebrated it, but her husband ended up dying of a broken heart a few days later. And the whole ripple effect that goes into people's life when that kind of shit happens, those unexpected deaths happen. And it turns out that these deaths were not only unexpected, but they were avoidable. They are having hearings there in Texas about what happened. And who was the guy? Anyway, the chief of the Uvalde Police Department, he was the one who was there on the scene directing things. He was the on-scene commander. And he was telling us that the officers who were outside the door, classroom, door, officers in the hallway. The officers that were in the hallway, they had to wait to get all this equipment there. And then the door couldn't be opened. He said after trying multiple keys, couldn't get the door open. They just get, in your mind, you picture some janitor bringing them a bunch of keys to the door. And again, I said I didn't want to speak on this until I got more information. So in your mind, you're picturing that scene you've seen in horror movies forever. The girl and the guy, her boyfriend, who's probably going to get killed in a minute. They make it to the car. And they got the keys, and she can't get the keys, and then she drops them on the floor. And when she grabs the keys and sits up, the monster, the killer, is there. So in our mind, we're thinking they're fumbling through all these damn keys, and they just can't get the right one. And I'm thinking, you don't need a bunch of keys. If that's like anybody who works there, you know what key goes where, especially if they got a janitor or somebody. He knows what's up. He could pick out the right key before he even gets there. It's not like, oh, not this one. Oh, not this one. But that's what they made it sound like. That's what he said happened. They were trying multiple keys to try to get in there. And we're thinking, well, what? Why did they kick the damn door in? There's kids in there with a psycho. Kick the door in. But, they got the doors and they're metal and reinforced and all this shit. Well, maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was like a fire-safe door, and the cops just couldn't get in there. I mean, the shit's made out of metal. I've never tried to breach a school door. And then yesterday we find out from the head of the law enforcement in Texas. I don't remember the guy's name. That's not even important. What's important is what he said. What he said was that the chief was lying. He said it was an abject failure. Turns out there were no keys that they were trying. That was a lie. There were no keys. He said, after reviewing all of the footage, the officers outside didn't even try the door. They didn't even touch the door. You're thinking if they're trying multiple keys to get in the door, then that means automatically somebody's already shaking the handle. Somebody tried to turn that handle and get in. Oh, shit, that doesn't work. Get the keys over here. They never did that. They never touched the door. Then he's saying that they had to wait for all this equipment. They didn't have the right equipment. They didn't have the guns. They didn't have the shields. There were long guns, which chances are were AR-15s or shotguns. They had long guns on the scene and shields in 3 minutes. So it wasn't this, oh, we're not prepared for this. We don't have the equipment for this. We're just a small hick town in Texas. But it turns out they had the firepower and the protection there in 3 minutes. So why didn't the officers make entry? Why didn't they turn the handle and go inside? And it turns out it was impossible for the door to be locked from the inside. I imagine this is something that they do, a precaution so teachers don't lock their keys in the classroom. The door can only be locked from the outside. So the door was never locked. There were never any keys tried to unlock this door because no one ever touched the handle. There was a guy, an officer. I don't know if he was off duty or what. He shows up. His wife was one of the teachers who was inside who died. 2 teachers, 19 kids. She called him and said, "I'm dying. Come help me." He shows up, gun in hand, ready to roll. You know what they did to him? They disarmed him and escorted him from the premises. That's what the head of law enforcement testified to yesterday in Texas. That he was disarmed and escorted from the scene. They didn't want to let him go. He was ready to go in and take on whatever was on the other side of that door. His wife called him and said, "I need you. I'm dying." "Nope. Give me your gun. Get out of here." Why did those officers stay in the hallway? Why did they not try the door? Did the chief tell them, "Don't you dare touch that door"? Why? Some people were saying that the officers were cowards. Somebody was, whether the chief was and he didn't want to give the order. I do find it hard to believe that you found that many cowards on one day. Of course, they're cowardly police officers. Just because you're a cop doesn't make you tough, doesn't make you brave. You might be a little more braver than the average Joe to take that job, but there's some wimps in there. There's some cowards in there. But they got that many of them together on the same day? I don't know. But somebody was. Was it because the chief didn't want to send them in there? I don't know. possibly hurt the kids? Did he maybe know that the shooter was a Mexican kid and he didn't want the whole black and brown bullshit on him, the shitstorm to face after? I don't know. But I do know this. I do know that no officers ever tried to open that door. I do know that the chief of police lied, saying that they tried multiple keys to get in. And I do know that an officer showed up there ready to go in that door himself if he had to, because his wife was in there, and she called him and said, "I'm dying," and they took his weapon away and escorted him from the scene. I do know that. What was going through those officers' minds? Were some of them saying, "Man, fuck this. We need to go in there and save those kids. I don't give a shit what." What happened? Why didn't they go in there? Why didn't they go in there and blast that fool? I mean, damn, taking rounds. They had the shields there. These guys are trained. They know what's up. They've gone into a room not knowing what's on the other side, knowing there's somebody on the other side with a gun. These are cops. And that many of them, that fool, that 18-year-old punk piece of shit would have been dead quick. He ain't that good. He doesn't have the experience of those officers being in shootouts. He hasn't trained with a weapon as much as they have. What happened? We have the knowns. What's the unknown? What happened? Why didn't those officers go in there and save those kids? 3 minutes. They may not have saved them all, but they would have saved a bunch of them. Who knows how many they would have saved? But that is totally fucked up. And he lied. Man, fuck all that. Who cares about the shitstorm that you face for going in there and shooting a brown kid? I don't give a shit. What about them other little brown kids that he murdered and those brown women that he murdered? Fuck, man, I don't know. But if they're lying about this, what else are they lying about? What else did they say happened in the beginning that didn't end up really happening? That was some bullshit. We tried all the keys and none of them worked. We couldn't get the door, but you never tried. You never tried the handle. They just assumed that it was locked. They assumed that the bad guy locked the door from the inside. That they assumed that because it's a school door, they just lock automatically. Why didn't anybody think to touch the handle and try to open it and get in there and make that fool's lead content go through the roof? Why didn't they go in there and put hot ones all through his body and fucking kill him? I don't know. I really don't. But I can't wait to see what else comes out of these hearings. I was really shocked by that. It's like, you almost ask yourself, did somebody want those kids to die? Did somebody want those kids to die for some reason? Political reasons? They needed a real bloody story to help push something? Did they want those kids to die? Did somebody knowingly cause a situation where a bunch of children and 2 women would be murdered? Horrible scene. I can't imagine what the inside of that classroom looked like when it was done, when it was over. And you know what, to be honest, I don't even remember. Did they kill that motherfucker? Is he alive? I don't even remember whether he lived or died. But still, it answered some questions, but it raises a lot more. Why didn't those officers go in there? I mean, I don't know. And I know I support law enforcement just as much as anybody else, if not more. I'm not saying cops are bad, but something happened here. Something happened here to where they sat back while those kids were murdered inside there. And Janie Cavendish says, I'm still wondering how a guy that worked part-time at Wendy's could afford $4,000 in guns and ammo. Who paid for it? Yeah, I've heard estimates as high as like almost $9,000. One of those rifles was like over $1,000, almost $2,000 for that. I've been working for a long time. I don't have no gun that costs over $1,000 or almost $2,000. Bam Bam Bigelow, how about the security footage? Yeah. Oh, Cheyenne Maxwell says he's dead. Good. I don't know why I blanked. I couldn't even remember whether he was dead or alive. But that just don't make any sense to me. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Border Patrol agents went there. That's right. That one team went in there and capped his ass. That's right. But, yeah, another question. How did he get all that money? None the Miser says stimulus checks. Maybe. Did he save them all? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's just, yeah, Shrek 5 ever. I've heard with the guns, he had a ballistic vest and then the ammunition, all that costing almost 9 G's. It was a video I saw with somebody in the military. I think the guy was in the Army. But yeah, Catholic K, they never tried the doors. They never tried them. That's just, it's fucking weird to me. Anderson Moffat too. Yeah, I don't doubt that. I believe me. I don't doubt a human's capacity for evil. I don't doubt that our government could do that to us. They could be that evil. I don't doubt that at all. I'm just saying, was it that? Was it something else? What the fuck happened? Why wouldn't you try? What the fuck? Billy Bentley says Border Patrol agent shot him in the face. Good. I just don't get it, man. And why lie? Why did he lie about it? Because it's true. What is it? The truth came out pretty damn quick. Why didn't you just say we didn't try the door? Fuck, because we know it now. Why didn't you just say that? But we tried multiple keys and nothing worked, man. Come on. There's something fishy. Something's rotten in Denmark. Something's up. Yeah, I'm lurking because it was a fucking government psyop to push gun control. Stop living in denial. I'm not living in denial. I think they're totally capable of doing that. And that's exactly what they did after this happened, tried to push crazy ass gun control. No doubt. But, okay, Jay Luther, he says, wow, you don't know the story very well. Well, tell me, what have I left out? You want me to go back and talk about how he shot his grandma in the face and then he drove and crashed his truck and got in a shootout with the people at the nursing home, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know all that shit. Just because I didn't say it, don't think I didn't know it. I did a video on this already. But I was waiting for some more information to come out. That's just fucked up. That's really terrible. And now they're pushing all that, the red flag law bullshit. How is that even possible? How? That just sounds so stupid. That's so flimsy. So because somebody says you're a psycho or you did something to them, and it's like, oh, well, it's a intimate relationship or long-term relationship or all these real vague terms. Nothing's nailed down. Nothing's etched in stone. Like with the red flag laws. So what, just some scorned lover, some crazy ex, some neighbor, some coworker? Like they can say you did something or say you need to be investigated or looked into or take his guns away? That shit just sounds really fucking weird to me. And that's stupid. And that's not the Second Amendment. Second Amendment says we can have them, period. So why would they push something? And especially now, knowing how crazy the left is, how can any Republican support any of their bullshit? I don't understand that at all. Who is for this? Red flag law? That's so vague. There's too much gray area. It's too easy to have someone's guns taken away. That's just so stupid. But that's what they're doing. That's what they're going for. And because of what happened in Uvalde, because of what happened in Buffalo, Now is, now it's their chance for the big gun grab. I get that. But that's just really fucked up for that to be true. Because people, people talk and say, they were cowards and they didn't do this and they didn't do that. That's one thing, but to hear it for sure, that's really fucked up. And they do want our guns. That no doubt about that. They have to. They can't. This is a crucial part of their plan. They can't get to their ultimate goal if they don't get guns out of the way. Guns are the main hurdle, the biggest roadblock to where they want to be. So they have to get the guns out of the way. They have to get our ability to protect ourselves and say, no, you're not going to do that, out of the way. So yes, of course, the gun grab is crucial. Jay Luther says, dude, I said that when you said you don't know if he lived. Yeah, I forgot that part. And I don't remember if that fucker lived or died. Who cares? I'm glad he's dead. But yeah, it's like, if you want to get into somewhere, where a building where something's valuable, what do you have to get past? Security, cameras, security guards, motion sensors, lights. You have to get around the security to get to what's valuable. And what's valuable to them is power. In order to get to what's valuable to them, they have to get rid of the security. The Second Amendment, us with guns. Again, there was a time, shit like this, no way they wouldn't do that. It's our government. No way that they would even try that, because it's in the Constitution. They would never shit on it. They just shit on the Constitution. They're really trying to take that shit. Assault weapons. Why do you need a weapon of war? Why is the president talking like that? Would you go to work and talk crazy to your boss like that? Any of us in the private sector, you're going to go into your boss's office and start telling him or her what's up? What they're not going to do, what you're going to do? You're not going to do that if you want to stay employed. So why are they doing that to us? Talking all this crazy shit about taking guns and red flag laws and limits on this and limits on that. You can't do this. Hold up. You don't tell your boss what they can and can't do. They're the boss. It's in the title. Boss means don't tell me shit. I tell you. So where do they get off talking crazy to their boss? Please let me know that. Why do they think it's okay to talk crazy to their employer? Do you let your kids talk crazy to you at home? Hell no. Why? Because you're providing everything. You're the reason they live. Same for them. We're the reason that they are there. We're the reason that they exist, yet they find nothing wrong with talking reckless to us all the time, talking about what they're going to take from us and what we can and can't do. And if you don't do this, you can't get that. Who the fuck are you talking to? You can't be talking to me, the taxpayer, who makes your life of opulence possible. But yeah, that's a must. That is a must. They have look around the world. Remember, who was it? Bernie Sanders said, socialism just hasn't been done right yet. No, it's been done right. That's why there's tens and hundreds of millions of dead people. Then what's the first thing they do? They take your guns, because you with the gun is the ultimate. No, I ain't gonna do it. Come make me. Take that away. All you got is hands. Hands ain't shit compared to lead. You can be the baddest motherfucker ever with your hands and your feet. But a gun, remember that scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark? Homeboy was with his swords and shit. Harrison Ford said, man, take some of this 38. Boom! He was looking, he turned around and looked the other way before the dude even hit the ground. But you take that gun away, and you shot just like the dude with the swords. The fancy sword swinger, that didn't mean shit. When that gun showed up, that didn't mean nothing. So it's absolutely crucial that they get those guns away from us if they want to live in their perpetual position of power and money. and influence over our lives. Man, you guys, you really want to get a single drop of anger blood out of your nose? You need to watch some of that World Economic Forum footage or the World Health Organization, where all them weird, powerful, ghoulish-looking motherfuckers get in a room together and start talking about how we're going to be living our lives. That's what you need to look at. That shit will freak you out. Yes, Matthew Jameson, they are owned by China. China has their arm, their communist arm, firmly up their ass to the elbow, manipulating their mouths. It's really sad. Spun Bearing 65 just got home. What's up? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. So yeah, that's the latest from Uvalde. We'll see what else comes up, but that is just that's horrible, and that's heartbreaking that some of those kids didn't have to die, that they just sat there and nobody could even try to handle. I mean, damn man, come on, man. Yeah, AJ says thank your Republicans because they signed on with the Democrats to pass it. My own state, North Carolina. Yeah, man, that's just Chris Law. We do need constitutional carry. Hell yeah, but that's what's even worse when you got people in there who's supposed to be fighting for you, and you just know they're not going to fall for this shit, right? And then they do. So then, what are you supposed to do? Midterms. That's what you're supposed to do. If somebody you put in there isn't doing what you want them to do, get rid of their ass. Get rid of them. Don't give a damn what letters in front of their name. If you're not doing what I put you in for, you got to go. If there's a Democrat who's going to do what you need him to do, get him in there. That doesn't seem very possible now, but if it were to be, get him in there. The R and the D don't mean shit. But in very recent history, the Democrats have been pushing all this crazy psycho shit, and the Republicans are supposed to be the adults. And then remember, they said when Biden became a resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, oh, the adults are back in the room. Really? Because adults can ride bikes. I don't think I'm ever going to stop talking about that one. That shit is funny. But yeah, and so speaking of those dumbasses, speaking of our grandpa in chief, Mr. Hey, this is in the mall. Love and marriage, love and marriage. That buffoon. Yesterday, he said the quiet part out loud. And we're going to get to that, people. But first, friends, temperatures aren't the only thing rising. Gasoline prices, food prices, tensions throughout society, global conflicts, supply chain breakdowns, you name it. Experts say the looming global food crisis will be worse than any year since WW2. What should you do? Go to preparewithjericho.com, get your long-term emergency food storage from My Patriot Supply while you still can. My Patriot Supply is America's largest preparedness company with millions of satisfied customers. Their food lasts for up to 25 years in storage, so when you need it, it will be there. Act quickly and save $150 on a 3-month emergency food kit. These kits provide breakfast, lunch, dinners, drinks, and snacks totaling over 2,000 calories per day. You won't go hungry when you have this emergency food. So go to preparewithjericho.com, save $150 on your 3-month emergency food kit. That's preparewithjericho.com. Get your family's emergency food while there's still time. Go to preparewithjericho.com. Venmo, GreenforGreen, Cash.app, $Jericho Green 1, P.O. Box 806, Olivehurst, California, 95961-9998. Super chats, get them. Get them in. First come, first serve. Matter of fact, we got the first 2 here in line. So why don't we do that? Why don't we take care of the first 2 super chatters of the day? Oh, I mean 3. First 3 super chatters of the day. 1 second. We'll get there. Oh, we'll get there. Oh, you'll get the shit. Was that 4? Man. Keeps going up and up. I'm not mad at that. Come on now. 5? Shit. Slipping. Come on now. There we go. Got it. Floki, thank you very much. A C note. 100. I appreciate that very much. So yeah, our grandpa in chief, he has opened up his gift bag and taken out some crumbs to sprinkle down for us to fight over. So he is going to petition Congress to stop the federal gas tax from now until September, 3 months basically. How much is the federal gas tax on a gallon of gas? It is 18 cents. So, well, if you think of it this way, guys, it is an improvement. Now, hold on, hear me out, be nice to the old man. It is an improvement because remember, last year we saved 16 cents on our barbecue, huh? Be thankful for that. So this year he upped it. So really, you should be thanking him because now he wants to save you 18 cents. 16 is less than 18, people. So this is a gift. All right. So he's going to give us 18 cents off per gallon forever. Just kidding. Only 3 months. Now I'm not an economics major, but if gas keeps going up and up and up, then won't that 18 cents be gone? Like, won't it be canceled out by the continued rise in gas? Because gas is expensive as hell now. Really, to be honest, 18 cents ain't shit. 18 cents is an insult. Anything less than $3 less for a gallon of gas is a fucking insult. That's what it is. 18 cents per gallon ain't gonna do shit. Even Obama, I'm sorry, forgive me for even saying his name out loud. But even Obama said it's bullshit. Even said it's just a scam. It's just to make them look like they're doing something. It ain't shit. And it's not. Why you even fix your old wrinkled pursed mouth to say that to us is beyond me. What the fuck is 18 cents? Nothing. Now you want to knock $3 off of that gallon of gas? I'm listening. It's still not good enough, but I'm listening. 18 cents and only for 3 months? Perfect. So you're going to get rid of the gas tax holiday right when everybody has to drive their damn kids to school every day. Perfect. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. After summer, when a lot more people are driving, road trips and vacations and things of that nature, you're going to give us the break until after that. And for summer, all the driving that people do, and who knows how much of a reduction there's been in summer travel because of the gas prices. But for those who are still brave enough to do it, you're only going to give them 18 cents off a gallon. And don't they pay more, especially in states like California? Don't you pay more with a state tax? And apparently he's going to try to convince the states to get rid of that too. Good luck. California ain't letting that shit go. Maybe if you package it in some green environmental bullshit, you can shove it up Gavin Newsom's ass. 18 cents. Again, it's an improvement from 16. So thank you, Joseph. We really appreciate that. Gas in California is damn near $7 a gallon, over $7 a gallon in some places. I paid $7.29 myself. I did it. And then you get down to Southern California, it's more. But on average, you're paying almost $7 a gallon in California. So let's say you're paying $6.50. Well, now with the gas tax being on holiday, as they said it, well, now you pay $6.32. Thanks, man. It went from $6.50 to $6.32 a gallon. That's awesome. And $6.50 is low balling. $6.75, $6.79, $6.89 is more like it in California. But you guys go ahead and say, hey, kids, go ahead and get some cheese on that Whopper because daddy's saving 18 cents a gallon on gasoline. Supply and demand. Increase the supply. Demand will go down. Prices will go down. Flood the market with oil. We got it. Do it. Frack, drill. I don't give a damn. Make my gas prices go down. But the environment, Jericho, the environment will be fine. The environment will be okay. Put the rigs out there where you can't even see them from the coastline. Create some ecosystem under the water. Now it's a new environment for the fishes and shit. So we are helping the environment. But Jericho, the oil spills. Haven't you seen the commercials of them washing the ducks off with Dawn soap? Yeah, I've seen it. And that's corrupt assholes trying to save $1 and cut corners. It's not the rig, it's the people. It's greed. But I'm not worried about any of that. Somebody told me, oh, well, you know what? Actually, Jericho, we're paying not as much as some places. I don't give a shit about nowhere else in the world but the part I'm in. I care about what we're paying for gas in America because that's the only place that I live. Oh, well, if they're paying less for gas in some foreign country I'll never go to. That's not where I'm going to live and raise my family. Forgive me for not giving a shit about what they're paying for gas in Portugal. I don't care. As a matter of fact, it only infuriates me to hear that they're paying much less for gas in other parts of the world. Make sure you listen to Nizzy Sprinkles Butt. I love the name, sis. I'm just here to smash that like button for Jericho Green. Do the same. Like and sub and like. Smash, like button, smash. But yes, just know that your financial well-being is at the top of their priority list. It's so high on their priority list that they are going to shave 18 cents off of a gallon of gas. That 18.4 cent slice is so thin, you can see light through it. But we're supposed to be thankful. And then they can say, hey, we gave you a 3-month gas holiday. What do you want? What do you want, guys? You told us you needed some relief. We gave it to you. Even though it was an insult, we gave it to you. So, here's something else that he said out loud. And this is a quote, okay? He said, are you saying that we'd rather have lower gas prices in America than Putin's iron fist in Europe? End quote. Don't worry, guys. I'll answer for all of us. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. Here, let me put my selfish hat on. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't give a damn about Putin's iron fist. And now that he invaded Ukraine, we see that fist really isn't made of iron. It's made of tin foil. It's made of aluminium, as they say in the UK. It's made of aluminum. It's like a soda can. It's not even iron. And even if it were, yes, that's exactly what we're saying. We would rather have lower gas prices, which means lower everything prices, because everything is brought to you on a vehicle that needs gas or diesel. So yes, that's exactly what we want, because that's the first domino to knock over. Cheap fuel means cheap everything else. It's cheaper to get it to you. The store owners and the vendors are paying less for it, so they charge less for it. Yes, I would rather have lower gas prices than giving a shit about what Vladimir Putin does or where he invades. And now isn't he talking about invading somewhere else? Maybe because he's been emboldened. Maybe because when we put all those sanctions on him, he said, hey, China, you want some oil? China said, hell yeah, I take your oil. So now here we are. Putin's price hikes. No, those are Biden's price hikes. And I put a meme up. It was, what's that stupid ass? Wyclef's cousin, Jean-Pierre, whatever her name is, a stupid White House press secretary, who was somehow worse than Peppermint Patty was. But it says the president has a plan to help control rising gas prices. And Peter Doocy says, you said he doesn't control the gas prices. And then it's just her face and the loading. Your something's loading and the little thing is spinning. He can control gas prices. Release more oil. Release the Kraken. Release more oil and the price goes down. Because if there's more of it, it's cheaper. How the fuck do I know that? How do we know that? How do we know that, but they don't? They do know that, but they just don't give a shit. Which further lets me know their capacity for evil, to do this to people, to affect people's lives like this and not give a shit because it doesn't affect theirs. HM Landon says, fuck Putin, but we should handle this inflation shit. Let Russia and Ukraine fuck with each other. Exactly. We can handle it. They can. They just don't. They won't. They're still believing in this fucking Green New Deal pipe dream bullshit. We're going to retrofit all the buildings and everyone's cars are going to run off of bubbles and happy thoughts. I don't think so. Or they're weakening us on every front. Economically, militarily. Now, I mentioned that yesterday, that video that the Navy has about pronouns. It shows acceptance and respect. That's what the Navy is concentrating on. It's that bullshit. Why? Aren't you part of the war machine? Aren't you supposed to be kicking ass on the open seas? Not learning about pronouns? But they're weakening us on all fronts. In the military, they're going to have a whole generation of soldiers and airmen and Marines and all that shit out there who just want to sit Indian style on the battlefield and ask the other soldiers, ask the enemy, so which pronoun do I, as they stick their bayonet through your mouth? We're going to be worried about, what do you want to be called? How do you want to feel? Pretty soon they're not even going to issue boots because they're all going to be out there barefoot with their pants rolled up, making little flower crowns for each other. Hey, Mr. Enemy. Hey, Mr. Chinese soldier. Hi. First of all, welcome. You're dead. Hey, let me put that. Hey, Chinese soldier. Here, let me take this flower out of my hair and put it in the end of your. That's what they want. They want our military to be full of a bunch of weenies. Chinese soldiers over there breaking cinder blocks on each other's faces. And we're over here releasing cartoons about some girl that grew up with 2 lesbian mommies and went to a protest. That's real. Remember that cartoon? They're over there beating the shit out of each other, waterboarding each other for fun. And we're over here with rainbow-colored salutes and bullets. Pronouns. This is how I want you to refer to me before you blow my head off. Before you paint my fellow soldier's face with my brains, I want to make sure that you are giving me respect and acceptance. Okay, guys, gather around. Now, before that bomb gets here that they just dropped on us, make sure that you're all using proper pronouns. That's what they're doing. China's over there stabbing each other with bayonets so they can get used to the pain. And we're over here with maternity flight suits, got the pilots waddling up into the cockpit of that F-22. Oof, I'm not going to be pulling too many G's today. My ankles are swollen. Go after them. Go get them. Oh, I can't. It's too high. If I go too high up, I get these gas bubbles in my tummy. It's so bad for the baby. This is what we're doing, getting weakened on all fronts. We're over here worried about how we're going to eat, how we're going to make it to work. Not about making our country stronger and repairing things and repairing the nuclear family and being stronger and educating ourselves so we can tell them, fuck you, no, you're not. We're worried about this bullshit, watching the gas prices go tick, 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 tick. I know they got that thing, what was that, outside of Wall Street or whatever, the New York Stock Exchange, wherever they have that counter for the U.S. deficit. The gas gauge isn't supposed to be doing that like the U.S. deficit. That's not supposed to happen. But that's what happens when you print up a bunch of monopoly money. I'll say it again. Are you saying that we'd rather have lower gas prices in America than Putin's iron fist in Europe? And the answer is yes. Hell yes. Let them figure it out. Now, if Putin tries to come over here, you better whoop his ass. But as long as he's messing around over there with people who aren't even in NATO, they're not even one of our allies, that's life in the jungle. That's how it is out there in the wild. They just got to deal with that. Haven't we done enough? How much more can we give those people? I just uploaded a picture yesterday of the president of Ukraine taking a picture with Ben Stiller. Got the AG over there in Ukraine talking about investigating war crimes. What? Why are you even over there? Shouldn't you be here investigating the crimes that are being committed by our government? And somebody on Instagram here, let me read the quote. So I put, it's a picture of Ben Stiller and Zelensky at JG Talk on Instagram, by the way. I put, wow, what a war zone. Hashtag, I put prayer hands, hashtag Ukraine, hashtag meet the fakers, right? So then somebody responded to me and said, seriously, a celebrity appearance means there's no war zone? So when I was deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan, all the shooting stopped when celebrities showed up? Gotcha. So then I replied, no, not just a celebrity appearance. A celebrity appearance after a Zoom call with Stanford students, a visit from American dignitaries, and a Time magazine photo shoot. Just seems like a lot of free time for a man hiding from Russian death squads. Never mind him. Why does Ben Stiller feel safe enough to go to a so-called war zone? It's not only that. Don't they have Russian death squads looking for this dude? Wasn't he on TV talking about how afraid for his life he is? But you got time to shake hands with Zoolander? How bad is it? How about no visitors until it's over? How about I need to focus on my people? How about that? But you got a fucking who's who or who used to be who coming to visit you? You got time for a Zoom call with a bunch of rich kids? Something's not right. It's not as bad as they're making it out to be. This is a way for them to send a bunch of money over there and clean it, so to speak. But you don't want to go to war with Russia, but you're going to finance and arm the people who are at war with them. So how bad is it? You got time to hang out with Zoolander, or are you fighting a war? Pelosi and all these other pieces of shit going over there. The fucking AG over there. For what? Like we got shit all together over here. How does that song go? Sweep around your own back door before you try to sweep around mine. So why don't you get back over here and sweep around our back door before you go sweep around theirs? We've given you enough. The rest of the world, you finance this shit. You give up some billions. Oh, they give 1, 2, 3 billion here and there. But we've done enough. It's time for us to bow out of the financing Ukraine game. Which, like he wouldn't expect the answer to that question to be, hell yeah. You give a damn about Russia and Ukraine? But the most damning statement is there's going to be another pandemic. Remember that. He was saying we're going to need more money. Somebody was asking him about the vaccines for kids and stuff. He's like, oh, well, we need money for that because there's going to be a second pandemic. And the outfit before us didn't plan for it very well, but we are. Why are you bringing that shit up? Why are you bringing up Trump? Huh? Why? Why can't you get those orange pubes out of your mouth? Every day, Trump. Why? Why'd you have to say that? Because he knows he's fucking up and he needs to deflect the attention. And what is the mainstream mediocre? What do the mainstream mediocres get more ravenous about than Orange Man? I believe part of them wants Trump to come back so they got something to talk about. So they can actually start covering shit, even though they were bullshitting most of it. I'm sure they were much happier when they had Trump in there because he was doing shit. And the more pissed off they got, the better it was for us. I want him back in there too because when they're mad, we're happy. When they're stomping around all pissed off like a bunch of petulant children, we're happy. Because if they're mad, that means he's doing something right for us because they hate us. Yes, they hate us. Academia, most of the government, entertainment, they hate us. We remind them of the parents who didn't hug them enough. We remind them of the hardworking parents that didn't give them enough love and affection. They hate us. Well, guess what, guys? We hate you too. But politics is downstream from pop culture. So we do need to keep an eye on those fucking weirdos because they affect what these weirdos do. The weirdos with the movie cameras affect the weirdos with the legislative pen. So we got to watch them both. We used to have somebody that was a watchdog. What was it called? The media. Yeah, no longer. They've joined forces with the bad guys. Let's dive into this comment section. Go. Goldfish Eye says, how heroic of them. Great optics, their courage for visiting a war zone. Exactly. Exactly. Like if this was a for real war zone and you just an actor, what the fuck you going over there for? I wouldn't go. Unless I'm wearing a uniform for the United States military, I wouldn't go to no war zone. Why? Why take the chance of getting killed? Why would you even do that? That's dumb. Why would you even take the chance of doing that? Unless it's not much of a chance that you're taking. Unless it's all good. There's multiple pictures of him shaking hands with famous people from around the world. So is this a tourist destination or a war zone? I don't know. Joanne 1520, 10% for the big guy. That's right. It's probably more than 10% now. JB says Ukraine war is a wag the dog, folks. Sure is. Good old boy number 76 says at Jericho Green, that war over there was just a way to keep Americans' eyes off the trucker convoy here in the U.S. Putin was told to start it by Biden. Probably so, man. They probably all, like, in front of us, I don't like him. I don't like him. Putin, he's bad. Blah, blah, blah. But behind closed doors at their weird-ass goat blood parties, they're probably homeboys. Hey, Putin, come here. Hey, how you been, baby? Biden's probably not. He's probably like, oh, man, these fuckers think I'm stupid. I'm sharp as a tack. Probably just an act. Truth is stranger than fiction. Ginger McGarvey says, maybe the AG should find the court leaker. Oh, that's a good idea. Because I would think, I would be afraid to do something like that. But you leak documents from the Supreme Court? You're about to go away forever. Now they don't even look for you. He's probably hiding for a day or so, and he's like, nothing? Fuck, go back to work. Why not? Why not? Mr. Protractor says Biden's fuel tax plan will save us $17 over 3 months, people. Over 3 months, people so happy. Yeah, well, it was 16 cents. This year it's 18. Be happy. Be happy, guys. They're giving us some real serious crumbs here. All right? Real serious crumbs. We should be thankful. Be thankful, you little taxpayers. Matthew Jameson says, screw Hollywood. Sorry, I mean Pedowood as well. Hell yeah. Hell yes. Standing citizen. All nations but Cuba, North Korea, and Iran are central banks by Red Shield crew. It's all been a scam from Jump Street. I believe it. King Richard III or the second says, Trump, adopt me. Hey, me first. Me first. Oh, yeah, Bam Bam Bigelow. Thanks for reminding me. So the January 6th committee hearings is what they're calling them. I'm calling them bullshit because that's exactly what they are. And what about, what's his name? Stephen Colbert. Didn't he send some employees in there to do the same thing? They were banging on doors and shit, trying to stop with Congress, trying to stop their proceedings and shit. Didn't they do the same thing? And they were in jail for like a few hours and got released. Double standard, anyone? But yeah, so they were interviewing some of the witnesses yesterday, and there was some lady on there, some black lady, and she was doing her fake crocodile tear bullshit, saying that she received death threats and she's put on 60 pounds and all this shit, and she's so depressed and scared. But then she has these nails, these long ass like rainbow nails that she went to the salon to get done. So hold up. Your life is so torn apart. You're afraid to go out. This is what she said. She's afraid to go out. You're receiving death threats. You put on 60 pounds. Okay? But before you came to this hearing, you got your nails and your hair did. So again, how bad is it really? Because if you're being a agoraphobe, basically, you're not going outside, you're shut in, you're depressed, you're scared, you're gaining weight, your life's falling apart. But before I go here, let me stop by and get my shit done and get my nails done. Ooh, and girl, make sure you don't make them some regular professional nails too. Make sure you don't get your nails done like you're about to go sit in front of a committee and for a hearing. Make sure you don't get your nails done like somebody who's going to be under oath. Make sure you get them done like you're about to go to a club. Make sure you get them done like you're going to some kind of fashion week. Make sure they're the loudest, longest, most ghetto-looking nails you can possibly get before you go to the most important hearing in American history. Because this is the worst stain in American history on us as a society. This is the worst thing that happened to us since 9/11. So make sure your nails look like you're a jackass before you go before that committee. Somebody's lying here. Somebody. Because that lady certainly didn't look like somebody who was fearing for their life and so depressed that they put on 60 pounds and they haven't been leaving the house. How'd you put on the 60 pounds? You went somewhere. Somebody came to you. Either you're lying and you did leave the house, or you and the Uber Eats driver are like this. You know his first name. He knows your first name. You probably met each other's family because you guys are close. To put on 60 pounds, you went somewhere. I thought stress had the opposite effect. Has that been my problem all my life? I've been stressed. This is stress weight that I'm trying to get off. This is stress weight that I tried to burn off this morning as I went for a walk around my neighborhood with a weighted backpack and a hoodie on in 95-degree heat. Is that what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get rid of stress weight. Her nails were off her finger this damn long, pointed with little studs on it and rainbow colors. And her hair was done, fresh and pressed. Man, is that all they had to do to break you out of your depression and your stress? Is to just invite you to the hearing and you're like, oh shit, I feel good. Let me go to the salon and get did up. Bullshit. Bullshit. Come on, people. Who's believing this? Who's watching these proceedings just riveted? Oh my. Who's doing that? This shit was a year and a half ago. We already know what's up. Somebody who put Stacey Abrams. Denise Cantrell says Stacey Abrams is paying good money. That's right. Because, the voting rights and voter suppression, black people, shut the fuck up. People already did that. People already did the heavy lifting so we can sit back and enjoy life. People already went through the real Jim Crow so we can enjoy life. They went through the real racism so we can enjoy life. It's like they were walking through the mud and putting down concrete behind them. So we didn't have such a tough path to go down like they did. And we're steady bitching and complaining right behind them. Ew, nothing's changed. It's still racist, voter suppression, Jim Crow 2.0. So if you were walking in front of this new generation, doing all this hard work, walking through the mud, fighting the snakes back so you can make a path for them, would you still make that path? Or would you turn around and say, you know what? Fuck you. You don't appreciate what I'm doing anyway. Make your own path, you son of a bitch. And I kind of wish they would. I wish I could go back in a time machine and tell them, hey, right here, pay attention. This is an iPad. It'll be here in like 50 years. Don't worry. Anyway, look at how they're treating America. Look at what they say about what you did. Look at it. They say nothing's changed. They say this Jim Crow is worse than what you went through. If I were them, I'd be like, shit, I'm worrying about myself. Fuck you. What civil rights movement? You move your own civil rights, you fucking ingrates. Anyway, don't forget, people, viewer-supported platform. Thank you. Venmo, GreenforGreen, Cash.app, $ Jericho Green 1. You want to do it snail mail? I don't care. Send it. I appreciate it. And put a little question or something, and I'll read that shit here too. P.O. Box 806, Olivehurst, California, 95961-9998. And yes, let's talk about Mayor Googly Eyes. I'm sorry. That is not on her birth certificate. That's not her real name. The sloth from Ice Age. No, it can't be right. Splinter. Remember Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? The rat who trained him? Because Chicago, for I believe the third time under her mayorship, is the rattiest city in America. So that's why I call her Splinter. She's the Rat King. No, that's not her name. Some people call her the dude, the scary guy. You can't say his name 3 times or he'll appear and mess with you. No, but it's not bug juice. No, it's not insect juice. The bugs, the hard shell. Beetle. Some people call it Beetlejuice. And not just the movie Beetlejuice. You ever see the dude that's on used to be on the Howard Stern show? That Beetlejuice too. No, that's not her name. Her name is not Beetlejuice. Stop it, guys. I see you in the comment section. Stop doing that. That's not right. Mayor Lightweight. No, what's her name? Hold up, Chris Lowe and Lynn Frank. They just spelled it like they did in the movie when the 2 dead people were trying to figure out how to say his name. That's funny. But it's not Beetlejuice. Stop saying that, guys. That's rude. What if she's here watching and you guys hurt her feelings? Huh? Should she have her feelings hurt because she presides over America's shooting range? No. Stop being rude. I know Mayor Steve Buscemi because of the eyes. Oh, shit. That ain't right. Mayor Light Arm? No. Foot. Yeah. Mayor Lightfoot. That's I knew I'd get that shit sooner or later. You know what it reminds me of? That scene in Young Frankenstein where he's like, after he fights off Frankenstein, he goes, Igor, come here. What was the name on the brain that you gave me? He said, Abby something. Abby Normal. Foot. Mayor Lightfoot. Thank you. Man, you guys are so rude in the comment section calling her Beetlegeist and shit. Beetlejuice. That was very hurtful. But she's getting serious, guys. All right, all bullshit aside. Stop it. Get serious, comment section. Okay? She's getting serious. And she is tackling crime finally. Because now it is against the rules. And it was funny in this article, it said after this will be implemented after officers are trained. What training do you need for this? But basically, it's become illegal or against the rules, I guess. I don't know if it's going to be a law. But basically, cops in Chicago cannot pursue assailants on foot anymore. And it says, and I'm reading from NPR. NPR around here in the Bay Area, it's 8:10 a.m. out of San Francisco. You want to check in on the enemy? You want to see what these crazy blue-haired, granola-headed dirt fuckers are doing and talking about? NPR to make you sick. But Chicago police officers were no longer. Let me get the mic a little closer. Chicago police officers will no longer be allowed to chase people on foot simply because they run away or they've committed minor offenses, the department said Tuesday, more than a year after 2 foot pursuits ended with officers fatally shooting a 13-year-old boy and a 22-year-old man. A 13-year-old boy. All he was doing was holding his books and he was skipping down the street singing "Kumbaya, my Lord." And the 22-year-old guy, all he was doing was handing out food to the homeless. He even, right before he got shot, he took the shoes off his feet and gave it to a homeless dude whose feet were cold. The new policy adheres closely to a draft policy put in place after those shootings and gives the department something it has never had: permanent rules about when officers can and can't engage in an activity that can endanger themselves, those they're chasing, and bystanders. You hear that, you dicks? Under the policy, officers may give chase if they believe a person is committing or is about to commit a felony, a Class A misdemeanor such as domestic battery or a serious traffic offense that could risk injuring others, such as drunken driving or street racing. Officers won't be allowed to chase people on foot if they suspect them of minor offenses such as parking violations, driving on a suspended license, or drinking alcohol in public. But they will still have discretion to chase people who they've determined are committing or about to commit crimes that pose an obvious threat to any person, like running with a gun. You think that might pose a threat to the public? You think they could shoot somebody or possibly fall and shoot themselves, or trip and fall and shoot and the gun goes off behind him and shoots the officer through the eye, killing them or something? Or the bullet goes off somewhere through a bedroom window and, I don't know, shoots a child that's sitting there watching their favorite TV program? I would think running with a gun would be a good reason for the cops to chase you. You're not supposed to have one, especially if you're a 13-year-old boy. That's what they said. The names of the 13-year-old Adam Toledo, or you know him more affectionately as Little Diablo, because that was his nickname, his street name, and 22-year-old Anthony Alvarez, who were armed when they ran from police in separate March 21 pursuits. They're not mentioned in the law's new release announcing the policy or the policy itself, but those pursuits, particularly that of Alvarez, cast a shadow over the policy. Mayor Lightfoot, see, it's Lightfoot, guys, not Mayor Beetlejuice, demanded that the department create an interim policy after the shootings, and the county's top prosecutor harshly criticized police over the Alvarez pursuit. It also appears that the police department took pains to prohibit just that kind of foot chase. So who are these? Who is this Adam Toledo and this Anthony Alvarez? Well, Adam Toledo, or Adam Little Diablo Toledo, as he was affectionately known, was a 13-year-old kid who was out, I think it was around 2 in the morning or something like that, because I know when I was 13, I was out on the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning. So he's out 2 o'clock in the morning running from the police, and he has a gun. And at first they were saying the police just gunned this little brown boy down. 13 years old, wasn't doing nothing. He was out picking up trash. That's how you get a nickname like Little Diablo. So the cops running up on him, they're chasing him, and the kid turns around with a gun. Freeze frame, you could see the gun in his hand. Now, some people might say, Jericho, that was a 13-year-old boy. He wasn't going to shoot that cop. But how many cops have looked down the barrel of a gun from a minor? How many cops have stood over the body of a minor that had their life taken by another minor? So yes, kids be killing. So he turned around with this gun. Cop feared for their life, as you probably would when someone's wheeling around with the gun. Shot him, killed him. Of course, it's unfortunate that a 13-year-old boy lost his life. But it's also unfortunate that his parents, or lack thereof, put him on a path to be there at 2 o'clock in the morning with the police officer running from them. Anthony Alvarez, he was 22 years old. They released the body cam footage for him also. He's running from a cop. They get in front of a building. They turn a corner. He falls, gets up. He keeps running. And the cop says, drop the gun, drop the gun. You see the kid with a gun in his hand. Boom, 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 boom. You hear 5 shots. That kid's down. And add another layer of fucked upness to this. At the top of this article, there's a little girl right there sitting in a stroller. And it's a picture of Adam Alvarez kissing her. And it says, I miss my daddy. I bet you do, little girl. And I'm so sorry that your father is gone and that you won't have him in your life to keep you from having a horrible life. That's very sad that he's not there to take care of his baby. But he made a decision running from the cops with a gun that made him unavailable for you, young lady, little girl. And that's terrible. And how are you going to have her out there with a sign trying to draw sympathy? Why don't you hold that man responsible? That man, that 22-year-old man who was out in the middle of the night. He should have been home with this little girl that misses him now. He's out there, in the thug uniform. Skinny jeans, Jordans, parka, doing the street shit. You should have been home with your baby and you still be alive. She wouldn't be holding a sign that says she misses you. But it's Chicago PD's fault that those two fools were out there running with guns in the middle of the night. Now, I don't know if you guys were prone to sneaking out when you were little, but 9 times out of 10, a 13-year-old is going to be in bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. 13-year-old shit. Not out in the streets running and gunning. Literally, he was running with a gun in his hand. So because of that, you make a policy that the cops can't chase people, even though the 2 cases you base this shit on, they both had guns on them. They weren't running with a box of candy to sell for their football team. Anthony Alvarez wasn't running with a pack of Pampers home for his baby. They were holding pistols. Don't excuse these people of personal responsibility. That's taking power away from them. That's taking responsibility. You stand up and own up to what you did. Now, of course, they're gone. But don't act like it was reckless behavior by the police that ended their lives. It was their reckless behavior. You don't run from the police with a gun in your hand and then turn around. Now, you run and drop that gun, put your hands in the air, then turn around. But don't turn around with the gun. Those 2 individuals put themselves where they are now, not the cops. But again, they shy away from the real work. Instead of making that policy, why don't you bring their parents down to the town square and throw rotten fruit and eggs on them and then take them to jail? Because you put your fucking kids in that position. Especially the parents of that 13-year-old, little Diablo. Why aren't his parents in prison? One of them probably already is. The dad, if not dead. But whoever was responsible for his well-being, why are they not in jail? Why was he out at 2 in the morning? That shit is disgusting. But now cops can't chase. So if you got a gun on you or something, the cops ain't going to chase you. All you got to do is take off. I'm glad they didn't have that shit back in the 80s because that was 99% of the episode of Cops. Adam 914. Suspect just hopped the fence. That's all they did. Camera. Man, you got to be in shape to be a cop's cameraman. Because especially back in the day, them cameras were 42 pounds. You hop in fence. Suspect. That's what they do. I remember seeing footage of a cop, I think it was in Arizona or something, Phoenix. And he was behind a Walmart or something. This suspect took off. Shit, that cop was like, I've been waiting for this. Phew, that cop took off after his ass and caught him. I don't know what track team they recruited that cop from, but he was fast as shit. Yeah, cops give chase. That's what they do. They catch bad guys. They hop fences and cars and go through shit, and they catch you. And if they can't, they got partners with 2 more legs than them that will certainly catch you. Shout out to my man Kenny and Riggs. They will damn sure catch you. That's what they do. They give chase. Now I understand in vehicles, some cities have outlawed high-speed chases because that is very dangerous for the public at large. But a foot pursuit? Man, you better go catch that fool. But hamstringing the cops more, making it easier for criminals to commit crimes and get away with shit. Good job, Lori. Good job. I will be shocked. I'll be shocked if she's reelected. I'll be even more shocked if she runs. She has to know she's failed the people of Chicago. And if she doesn't know, you guys better let her know. Because instead of getting tougher on criminals and making those DAs do their job and throw these fools under the jail so they can't come out and terrorize society, she's taking one more thing off the table that the cops can do. Great job, Lori. You're amazing. You Chicagoans must feel so safe. And the criminals, they must feel great. They're like, shit, man, we don't gotta do nothing. we don't gotta worry about shit. Oh, Matt Manning says Lori got her ass whooped by her wife months ago for infidelity. Really? She was dipping into another clam, huh? Had somebody else's glazed donut on her face, huh? That's too bad. If you want to get real, the domestic violence numbers amongst lesbians is very high. Very high. Some people almost say it's an epidemic. What's her name? Brittany Griner, the dumbass who tried to smuggle dope into Russia. She got in trouble a couple years before that for whooping her girlfriend's ass. Never heard nothing about that. Oh, but it's right. She's part of the LGBT alphabet soup group, and she's a person of color, so don't fucking talk about her, you dick. You can't hold her to the same standards as everybody else. You can't hold her to the same standards as everybody else. That wouldn't be fair. Yeah, that's what happens. But hey, you know what? You cheat, you get beat in some cases. I don't feel bad for it. Her girl's like, hey, you only get to have one clam, okay? Ayo. Dumbass. All right, y'all. Let's get these super chats done. Let's do it. Let's do it. Remember the beginning of Wild Thing? Tone Loc? Let's do it. Remember that cartoon Sea Bear and Jamal that he was the voice for? I miss you too, 90s, not just the 80s. I miss the 90s. All right, let's see. There it is. Blake, or I'm sorry, I was going to say Blake Lake. Black Lake. Thank you very much. Let's see. Thank you. It says captured fighting alongside Ukraine. Unfortunately, they drank the Kool-Aid and will probably be executed like those Brits that were captured. Uh-oh, who was captured fighting alongside the Ukrainians? You think that would be okay, right? We're all supposed to. Okay, here we go. Black Lake, thank you again. Did you hear Biden's administration declared Brittany Griner a hostage and said that she would be freed? What? Basically, Russian law shouldn't apply to her. Screw the 2 American veterans that were captured. Oh, okay, that's what you were talking about. Okay, here, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to look into that. Let's see. Griner. Freed, question mark? And American soldiers captured. Yeah, I'll look into that shit. That sounds like something stupid they would do. But thank you very much, Black Lake. I will definitely look into that. Got some more up here. Up here. From Spun Bearing 65 Twomp. Thank you. What does a puckered pit bull's butt have in common with the VP? Oh, look. Everything. How about that? Shit comes out of both of them. That's what they have in common. They both produce a bunch of shit. Kai Johnson. Neither US or UK are doing anything serious to stop Putin while allowing prices to go out of control. Just virtue signaling and making us pay for it. By the way, don't know which is funnier, the UK or New York. I guess we'll have to find out, Kai. We will find out. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. The UK. Let's see. Let's see. Kind of sound like what's his name? Jason Statham on the transporter. Let's go. Hold on, we get to that other super. I know I saw it in there. Oh, I see it. Here we go. My site. Thank you very much. Jericho, waiting for you to do a 24-hour straight show. Will you announce that now in this show? No, I cannot commit to a 24-hour straight show at this moment. That would be something. What the fuck will we talk about for that long? And who else would be in here with me? Who would be the diehards who would stay with me for 24 hours straight? I mean, potty breaks included. I do appreciate you guys, but I'm not willing to piss and shit myself. But bathroom breaks included. Maybe we'll set a time limit for bathroom breaks. But 24 hours straight, that's something to think about. Mallory Faust, thank you very much. Are you going to get you a pic with Kamala Heels Up Harris? Only 15? Yeah, I don't care if it was 15 cents. I don't care if she wanted to pay me 15 grand to take a picture with her. I would never. I'd have to stand close to her and smell all the mothballs and Metamucil from the old guy she's been backing it up on. And that cackle. What if I'm standing next to her and she cackles like in my ear? My eardrums can't take that. Oh my goodness, could you imagine? Right in your ear? Fuck. You can't handle that. Eardrum would explode. Mallory Faust, again, thank you. What up, JG? Have you seen your boy Gavin Gruesome is now on True Social? I did see that bullshit. He's seeking the truth about why red states have all these issues with guns. Nothing about Democrat-run cities, though. Yeah, he was on there talking about, I'm sorry, guys. Let me be authentic because he has that kind of raspy voice. I believe it's because he visits his Aunt Nancy in hell and the hot air scorched his vocal cords. But he was talking about how I'm going to be on Truth Social to be a fact checker, to call out these Republicans. Shut the fuck up. I would love, I bet you he disables all the comments. Gavin Newsom on, I'd love to hop in the comment section with that bitch. Simple Dan Forever, thank you very much. UPD should be charged as accomplice. Chief gave order on purpose to maximize tragedy. Check chief bank account. Check account used to buy guns. Like I said, a lot of scary shit coming out of this. More truth is going to come out. It does not look good. Anybody who is complicit in this definitely needs to be punished for sure. Because 19 kids, 2 teachers. Sterling Battelle. Hope I said that right. Thank you. I just paid $2,500 in diesel fuel to keep America from revolting this week. Enjoy the decline. Thanks for doing your part, Sterling. I appreciate that. We're all probably going to be paying that kind of money for gas pretty soon. I mean, of course, not with that federal gas tax being withheld at 18 cents. That's going to save all our asses. Lockbert, thank you. Says, I think they went in very slow in Columbine and the Florida school shootings as well. Well, I know in the Florida shooting, they had an officer on site and he ran. He took off. So, yeah, both of those were horrible. A lot of things changed for the better with Columbine as far as they handle those situations, but obviously not enough because what we found out yesterday from that committee was fucking horrifying. They didn't even try the door. Like, that's just fucked up. And there'll probably be more that comes out today. I'll see what I can do about finding out about it. I don't want there to be more coming out about this, but you know there will be. Mick Walsh, thank you very much. It says, when will Beijing Biden get impeached? Well, when he has the House and the Senate on his side, probably never. But midterms, let's see. I mean, they want to have 2 bullshit impeachments against Trump. Biden gives you a dozen legit ones, but they're just sitting on their damn hands not doing shit. They're too busy kneeling for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. That's straight bullshit. There's a fly in here because I'm the shit. Anyway, yeah, I'd love to see that. That's a slam dunk impeachment. Come on. You got Trump on that bullshit. One of them was for a phone call he released the damn transcripts to. If you're worried about getting in trouble, why would you hand over the transcripts? Love to see him get impeached. That should only take 5 minutes. Well, guys, we did it again. Another live stream, another day, another 1 p.m. PST. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments, your time, your cash money. I appreciate it. We will be back here the same exact time, the same exact place, 1 p.m. If you're not here, you're in the wrong damn spot. Don't forget, viewer-funded platform. Thank you. Venmo, GreenforGreen, Cash.app, $ Jericho Green 1. P.O. Box 806, Olivehurst, California, 95961-9998. You can also do the super chat route if you want. You know I will read it. Thank you very much. We will reconvene tomorrow, but you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.